Chapter 1 of Religions of Ancient China. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by MaryAnnS. Religions of Ancient China by Herbert A. Giles. Chapter 1 The Ancient Faith. The problem of the universe has never offered the slightest difficulty to Chinese philosophers. Before the beginning of all things, there was nothing. In the lapse of ages, nothing coalesced into unity, the great monad. After more ages, the great monad separated into duality, the male and female principles in nature, and then, by a process of biogenesis, the visible universe was produced. An addition, however, to this simple system had to be made, in deference to, and on a plane with, the intelligence of the masses. According to this, the male and female principles were each subdivided into greater and lesser, and then from the interaction of these four agencies, a being named P'an Ku came into existence. He seems to have come into life endowed with perfect knowledge, and his function was to set the economy of the universe in order. He is often depicted as wielding a huge adze, and engaged in constructing the world. With his death, the details of creation began. His breath became the wind, his voice the thunder, his left eye the sun, his right eye the moon. His blood flowed in rivers, his hair grew into trees and plants, his flesh became the soil. His sweat descended as rain, while the parasites which infested his body were the origin of the human race. Early Chinese writers tell us that Fu Hsi, B.C. 2953 to 2838, was the first emperor to organize sacrifices to, and worship of, the spirits. In this he was followed by the Yellow Emperor, B.C. 2698 to 2598, who built a temple for the worship of God, in which incense was used, and first sacrificed to the mountains and rivers. He is also said to have established the worship of the sun, moon, and 5 planets, and to have elaborated the ceremonial of ancestral worship. The Yellow Emperor was followed by the Emperor Shao Hao, B.C. 2598 to 2514, who instituted the music of the Great Abyss in order to bring spirits and men into harmony. Then came the Emperor Chuan Tzu, B.C. 2514 to 2436, of whom it is said that he appointed an officer to preside over the worship of God and earth, in order to form a link between the spirits and man, and also caused music to be played for the enjoyment of God. Music, by the way, is said to have been introduced into worship in imitation of thunder, and was therefore supposed to be pleasing to the Almighty. After him followed the Emperor Ti Ku, B.C. 2436 to 2366, who dabbled in astronomy and came to a knowledge of spiritual beings, which he respectfully worshipped. The Emperor Yao, B.C. 2357 to 2255, built a temple for the worship of God, and also caused dances to be performed for the enjoyment of God on occasions of special sacrifice and communication with the spiritual world. After him we reach the Emperor Shun, B.C. 2255 to 2205, in whose favor Yao abdicated. Before, however, Shun ventured to mount the throne, he consulted the stars, in order to find out if the unseen powers were favorable to his elevation, and on receiving a satisfactory reply, he proceeded to sacrifice to God, to the 6 honored ones, unknown, to the mountains and rivers, and to spirits in general. In the 2nd month of the year he made a tour of inspection eastward as far as Mount T'ai, in modern Shantung, where he presented a burnt offering to God, and sacrificed to the mountains and rivers. The great Yu, who drained the empire and came to the throne in B.C. 2205 as first emperor of the Hsi dynasty, followed in the lines of his pious predecessors. But the Emperor Kung Chai, B.C. 1879 to 1848, who at first had treated the spirits with all due reverence, fell into evil ways and was abandoned by God. This was the beginning of the end.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?